Ohayo.
Ohayo. Welcome to the So Japanese Podcast, a podcast where we talk about all things Japan. We are your hosts, John
and Ryusuke.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Today's topic is one of the most famous, popular worldwide dishes, Japanese dishes, and that's ramen.
Ramen. Everybody loves ramen.
I think so.
I think so too. Yeah.
And today's segment at the end will be street level Japanese. So please stay till the end. Listen to the end for that. Cool. So let's start off.
Yeah.
Ramen. The word ramen originally is from a Mandarin Chinese word for limen, which means pulled noodles.
Pulled noodle. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's the I'm sure like in Chinatowns around the world you see the pulled noodle restaurants where the chef is like banging
the doughs.
Yeah, the dough, But it's not the same type of noodle actually for ramen.
No.
But the word is taken from that. And then up until the 1950s in Japan, it wasn't called ramen.
No.
It was called shinasoba.
Yeah, shinasoba.
Which means Chinese noodles.
Yeah.
Yes. So the first ever ramen shop in Japan opened in 1910 in Tokyo. And is it a chain now?
I think so.
It is called Rai Rai Ken.
Yeah, Rai Rai Ken.
Rai Rai Ken.
Yeah. I see a lot of Rai Rai Ken in Japan. So I believe that was the from Rai Rai Ken and became chain.
Yeah. That's the OG Japanese ramen shop. So today we'll talk about the most common components, toppings of ramen, and then the different regional styles, how to order at a ramen shop in Japan, general etiquette as well.
Cool.
To how to eat it.
Cool.
So what would you say is the most important part in a bowl of ramen noodles?
Most important part? It's the soup.
Is the soup, right?
Yeah.
So the soup, we'll start there first, generally is made from what?
Pork bone. That's tonkotsu. And then also chicken and a bunch of vegetable like onion, scallion, shiitake mushroom. That's called chicken soup, torigara.
Okay.
And then also they have pork bone and chicken mix.
With some seafood sometimes,
seafood,
right?
Yeah, like a
bonito
dry
flakes.
Yeah, bonito flakes and then dry anchovy. Yeah.
Kombu, seaweed.
Yeah.
Beef bones, is that common too?
Beef bone? I don't think so. Not really. I know there's beef ramen, but it's not really common. Yeah. To me, beef bone is more pork, pho, the Vietnamese noodle. That's what I think.
I'm sure, like, I think all these ramen restaurants in Japan have their own secret special
ingredients.
Recipe for their soup. So who knows what they put in it?
Exactly.
Right? It could be all sorts of bones.
Yeah. And mostly, I know in North America, there's a bunch of like vegetarian option. When you go Japan and then you see like yasai ramen, which is like a vegetable ramen, that could be still animal product in it, which is soup. Yeah. Because they don't really make like plain veggie stock. Yeah.
So the vegetarians and vegans that are traveling in Japan,
you should check that. Like if they have like actual vegetarian or even vegan ramen. Yeah. Maybe right now they make it because after the Olympic, right?
That's true. Yeah.
But mostly no.
So if it was vegetarian, vegan, it'd probably like be seaweed, vegetable based.
Seaweed, veggie, mushrooms.
Yeah.
Stock. Yeah.
The whole point of ramen soup is to get all the umami out from the ingredients, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you can tell when you eat ramen, you always want to keep drinking the soup.
Yeah.
So if you have the feeling where your mouth is salivating and you want to keep drinking the soup, that's umami.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So the next component would be obviously the noodles. The noodles are wheat-based.
Wheat-based, yes.
And made with alkaline water. So that's how you get the bounce,
the texture of chewiness,
right?
Yeah.
And the color, the yellowish
color, right? Yeah.
So Ryusuke mentioned there's two main types of soup: tonkotsu, pork, and
chicken,
torigara.
Yeah.
And then also you have flavors that can be added to those soups to change it up.
Yep.
The common ones are shoyu, which is
soy. Yeah.
Shio.
Yeah, shio, which means salt.
Miso.
Like everybody knows miso paste.
Right.
Yeah.
And then a less common one, I've never had it, is curry, Japanese curry ramen.
Curry ramen, yeah.
So instead of the soup, it's the same noodles, but with the curry.
But normally they added some soup
as well.
Yeah,
to thin it out.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's not like a Japanese curry rice curry,
so thick.
thick.
But the a common dish which is I've had before is curry udon. That's not thinned out, is it?
Still they add some dashi broth and then curry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the soups. The common toppings. You will see generally are
chashu,
which is like
sliced
barbecued or braised pork
belly,
belly.
pork shoulder. Yeah.
Negi,
scallion. Yeah.
A boiled egg or a soy egg.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll see like a white boiled egg, or sometimes you'll see a soy egg, which is kind of
like a brownish outside, but obviously inside is still white, and then yolk is yellow, but it has the flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Menma, which is
bamboo shoot.
Yeah, bamboo shoots. Wood ear mushrooms.
Yeah.
You'll see that sometimes.
Yeah, kikurage. Yeah. I love it.
A slice of a sheet of nori.
Yeah.
Is common. And the fish paste cake.
Fish cake. Yeah. Kamaboko or Naruto.
Is it Naruto because of that spiral shape?
Yeah.
So the spiral is called Naruto?
There's a place called Naruto Kaikyo.
Okay.
The sea. And then the sea has all the, how can I say, the water is always
like in a whirlpool type thing? Okay.
It's in like close to Shikoku, so like south side of Japan. And then there's a big bridge around the area.
Yes.
And then you can always watch the seas like moving like a tornado.
Cool.
So it's like a Naruto.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always wondered why it has that pink spiral.
I think because of that.
Yeah.
Like and then I think that manga Naruto.
Yes.
He has the on his cheek. I think he has some sort
cheek, or he wears like a
he
headband.
Also wear yeah
something like that.
Naruto. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have typical common regional types of ramen. Again, I think ramen is such a involved topic that we could have many podcasts talking about ramen.
Definitely.
But for our first one, we'll quickly go through the general points of ramen.
Yeah.
So we picked a few. I think there's many different types of regional ramen now, right?
Everywhere, yeah.
Right, but we'll pick a few out, more common ones. So I will talk about the ramen, and Ryusuke will talk about where it's from.
Sure.
So a miso ramen with corn and butter topping is from
Sapporo.
Sapporo.
Yeah.
So is there a just a corn and butter ramen without the miso, or is it always all three together?
No, you can always topping. So like if somebody don't like butter, so you can always tell them like I don't want butter. But like the common Sapporo ramen, which is Hokkaido, it's always corn and butter and miso. And
the Japanese don't really eat butter, right?
No.
So it's really interesting that if they do, they put it in noodles.
I think why like Sapporo ramen they put butter because like in Hokkaido the milk is famous.
Yes.
So like cow milk is most popular in Japan. It's from Hokkaido. That means they have make good butter, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they always put it.
My wife is a big milk drinker.
Okay.
And when we went to Japan, she tried the Hokkaido milk.
Oh, she
said
loved it.
It's so good, yeah.
So good?
Yeah, so
It's
good.
Like the fat percentage is
It's
higher.
high, yeah, exactly. That's why
it's not like a water.
Yeah.
Here it's like 2% or
she calls it water.
right?
Yeah.
Or
right.
even like 3%. But Japanese average percentage is I think 3.5% milk. Yeah.
Hokkaido milk.
Yep.
Famous for the any dairy products. Their ice cream.
Ice cream
is good there too.
Yep.
We have a thick noodled ramen. Is from
Kitakata. Yeah.
Where's Kitakata?
Kitakata is from Fukushima.
Okay.
So I think somehow it gets famous, the Fukushima name, because of the tsunami happening for the earthquake. But again, they're famous for one of the noodles. Yeah.
And then another common type of ramen is like a dipping ramen. So they serve it to you with a bowl of noodles, just the noodles with the toppings, and then a smaller bowl of like a thickened broth, right? It's more reduced.
Yeah.
And so you would grab some of the noodles and dip it into the bowl of reduced broth, and that's called tsukemen.
Tsukemen. Yeah.
And that's from Tokyo.
That's from Tokyo. Yeah.
As well as shoyu ramen, like
it's soy based.
Soy-based ramen is also from Tokyo.
Yeah. A lot of people also call Tokyo ramen or
if it's soy-based.
Yeah.
We also have a mix of tonkotsu. So tonkotsu, that's one of the main soups. That's pork-based, and it's reduced heavily with like a rolling boil to like aerate it and thicken it. And because it's with the pork bones, you really feel like the gelatinous, sticky texture,
like a collagen and all those.
Yeah. So when you eat tonkotsu ramen, you can feel your like lips kind of sticky.
Yeah.
That's good. And so they have in Yokohama, they have a mix ramen, which is shoyu and tonkotsu, and that's called Reike?
Ieke?
Ieke?
Yeah, Ieke. Yeah.
Ieke ramen.
Ieke ramen.
Where is tonkotsu from?
Tonkotsu is from Kyushu, Fukuoka.
Okay.
So like south side of Japan.
They're really, they have a lot of pride in their ramen.
They have a lot of pride.
Yeah.
And then tonkotsu ramen, the noodle is actually like thin white noodles.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for the tonkotsu ramen, a lot of restaurants, you can actually choose how long the noodle is branched.
Oh, cool.
There's a level.
Okay.
You can say, for example, you say barikata.
Okay.
That means they branch like 10 seconds.
Okay.
So it's still like
really
super al dente. Yeah.
Okay.
Then barikata, kata, futsu, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
just
you
the levels of
level. Yeah.
Interesting.
I
I've
know.
never tried that actually.
No?
No.
Oh.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah. No, you can choose. And also there's another service. It's called kaedama.
Okay.
So you finish all your noodles, but you keep your soup still.
Yeah.
then you just order like, can I have kaedama? Normally it's 100 yen, so like $1.
Yes.
Then you get one portion of noodle. They branched it, whatever you want to cook. Then they serve with the plate. Then you just dump into your soup again.
The leftover soup.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if you want to do kaedama, a lot of people do like just eat the noodles and then order it again and finish all the soups too.
Is it common to, instead of, with the leftover soup, instead of ordering extra noodles, is it common to order a bowl of rice?
No, really.
I do that.
I do that. I love rice and ramen.
In Thailand, that's common with the noodle
really?
soups.
Always rice?
Not all places serve it with the noodles, but you can always have an option to order a side of rice to eat it with the leftover soup.
Oh,
yeah. So I got it from that. So when I go to ramen places now,
and then you always order rice and then you finish with rice and soup.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
And one of my favorite types of ramen, which is, I would say, not the most common, is tomato ramen.
Tomato, I never had that.
Really?
But I heard
I love
at some point they're
so
famous.
much umami.
Really? Sour?
Sour, Swedish.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It's like a red soup.
Yeah.
A little thicker. I bet you, it's probably like as thick as a tonkotsu thickness of soup, but so much umami. And that one is from Taiyo.
Taiyo. Yeah.
What part of Japan is Taiyo?
I think Taiyo is also from Kyushu originally. Yeah. But I think now they're everywhere too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a chain. In Thailand, we went there all the time, but I think it's a chain from Japan, and it's actually called tomato ramen.
Yeah. Because I heard that I saw on the TV or something, and some place they even put dry tomato as a condiment on top.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Did you think, hearing it, do you think it's weird?
Yes. But I want to try though.
Yeah. It's like if a Japanese and an Italian made a baby.
It's like a pasta, right?
Pretty much.
And why not?
Right?
For
Pasta is noodles anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, let's quickly talk about how to order at a typical ramen place in Japan.
Yep.
So in Japan, ramen places, they're everywhere. And
in a city, in a suburb,
everywhere. Some are open 24 hours, some are not. But if you walk around Japan and you see like a lineup outside a store and you're not sure what type of store it is, good chances it might be a ramen place.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's a lineup also because they're popular, but a lot of ramen places are a smaller location.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Because like a lot of ramen restaurants, they actually run by owner, also as a chef. He or she does everything by themselves. Yeah.
They're mainly small businesses. Typical small business to own a ramen shop. And when you go in, it's generally like bar counter seating. So open kitchen. And how do you order?
So either some restaurant has the ticket machine. So before you sit, you choose the ramen and pay on a machine, and then you grab the ticket and just put on the counter, so the chef knows what you want to eat, right?
And then what is the price range?
I would say 600 yen, so like $6-7 to 800 900 yen. I don't think nothing over 10 yen.
Yeah, nothing over around $10.
Yeah, well, if you add toppings, could be, but yeah.
Growing up, do you remember the price of ramen?
Yeah, it was like 600 yen.
Still, right?
Yeah.
It's something about Japan is that through like the last 30 years, it seems like there's no inflation.
No inflation, which is so weird.
Right? Like the minimum wage has been the same.
Yeah.
Right? Prices are pretty much the same.
Food price are all same.
Right? It's
Like-
so weird.
Like my parents' restaurant,
Yeah.
they run 35 years now.
Yeah.
And since beginning, they have 1 coin lunch, which is
500
5
yen.
bucks. Yeah, 500 yen coin
Yeah.
from 34 years ago. And they still do the same price. How they do it?
Right? How did
I
they
don't
do that?
even know.
Well, it also shows like your parents, and typical in Japan is to like not try to take advantage of their customers,
No,
right? They want to maintain that price.
exactly.
You can count on us
Yeah.
for an affordable delicious meal.
Exactly. Yeah.
In a lot of working class areas in Japan, Ryusuke just mentioned a 1 coin lunch, and that's common.
It's really common.
500 yen is the largest coin.
Yeah.
And yeah, a 1 coin lunch.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called in Japanese?
Yeah. 1 coin lunch.
1 coin lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, or if they don't have a vending
The
machine,
vending machine, and then you just sit, then you order to the chef if it's the small ramen restaurant. And then if you go like chain ramen restaurant, that's huge dining space, then server's gonna come to you, and then they're gonna take order, and then basically same as regular restaurant.
it's also common in Japan to a lot of restaurants that the server doesn't bring the bill to you and you pay, and the server takes the bill and the money and then give you change. You pay on the way out. There's a cashier.
There's a cashier
stand around the door.
Yeah.
That's really common too.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the etiquette of,
This is kind of important for especially ramen restaurant.
right?
Yeah.
So as we said, a lot of ramen places have a lineup. There's smaller spaces. So speed
Yeah.
is an important thing.
Yeah.
Ramen,
You don't need to eat lash.
yeah. You
but-
don't have to rush yourself,
Yeah.
but don't take your time too much.
Yeah.
Okay, so first one, I think is really common where when foreigners visit Japan and they eat noodles, they feel kind of shy, and because in Western culture, eating manners, making a
They're
lot
not
of
making
sound while eating or slurping is seen as rude. And when they go to Japan,
Everybody's making sound,
uh,
especially when they eat noodles. I mean, only when they
Yes,
eat
yes,
noodles.
yes.
Otherwise, you shouldn't make a sound.
yeah.
Yeah.
But eating noodles, you should make a sound,
Yeah.
right? Like a slurping,
Yeah.
suck up the noodles.
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
Well, I mean, when I was a kid, I was doing it for no reason, but because of everybody does, and then we think that's normal.
Yeah.
But now I'm living in North America, and then a lot of friends like they told me that why Japanese people slapping, and I was like, why don't you slapping noodles? How you eat?
Yeah.
But because of like the noodles, it's in the soup. When you slap, you suck the air together, right? So basically, in your mouth you get more flavors.
Okay.
So that's how you can taste all the broth and even noodles.
Yep.
All those umami.
So sucking in air aerates the flavor.
And through nose,
Yeah. It just, you taste it more.
more. Also, it's hot too. So
Oh yeah. So the slurping, the air help cools it down
exactly.
too.
We like hot ramen. When I eat, I always blow the noodle a little bit because it's so hot.
Yes.
And yeah, my parents when I was a kid, they always say "hu hu shite, hu hu."
Blame, blow.
Yeah, exactly. Hu hu.
Is it seen as like a good thing to the chefs if I'm slurping in front of him? Like, does that show him that like, yo, this is delicious?
I
Or-
think so.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So slurping, try to. I know
I heard it's hard. to do
Westerners,
it.
it's hard for them to do
Yeah.
it, right? But try. Don't choke.
No, yeah, don't choke and be careful. It's hot.
or like
Fufu して
fufu and then slurp.
Yeah.
But don't choke because then you'll cough out a noodle out of your nose.
Yeah.
Another thing we're talking about, like honoring the chef and showing him that it is good soup, respect. So it's common on the counter to have a couple of seasonings.
Yeah. Like
alongside like the spoon and the chopsticks. Common seasonings would be
like peppers and shichimi, like chili powders, and depends on the restaurant. Sometimes they keep some pickle or like takana pickle, or even
pickled mustard greens.
Yeah, pickled mustard green, or maybe salt.
Okay,
just in case.
But because you're eating in front of the chefs and the cooks,
and
you
like
want to show respect.
And we say what's most important ingredient for the ramen, which is soup.
It's the soup, right?
Yeah.
The soup takes like what, 18 hours, 24 hours.
Yeah.
And you even mentioned that some places, if their daily soup isn't up to par, isn't good enough for the chef,
then he doesn't open or she doesn't open. They put the sign in front of the restaurant says like, sorry, I couldn't make good soup today, so we are not gonna open. Sorry for inconvenience. So much pride on it.
Right? The soup is the star.
Yeah.
A lot of places don't even make their own noodles.
No.
Right? So the soup, you go to a ramen place and they're famous, it's because of their soup.
Exactly.
So when you're presented with the bowl of noodles, try some of the soup first. Don't, before trying, add all these flavorings to it. Right?
The soup is already good. Yeah.
Same thing like at a pho place, right?
Yeah.
Try the soup. You know, it took many hours to extract all the umami, all the flavor out of the bones. Don't right away put the sriracha and the hoisin sauce. Don't just
even though you like it,
yeah,
I guess it's better actual plain taste first, right? Yes. Then after that, whatever you want. But
ideally, you would add the sriracha and the hoisin sauce on a side plate.
Yeah,
and you
then you dip it, right?
Yeah. Don't.
Or you put on a spoon, and then
dip it
on it.
Yeah. Ryusuke mentioned you don't have to rush.
No,
but eat quickly.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's ramen.
Yeah.
Like how long does it take to finish, right?
Right. The Japanese portions aren't crazy size.
Yeah.
And at ramen places, you'll see a lot of like salarymen. And it's a quick lunch in and out.
Yeah.
So we say that because we don't want to take up that seat for too long. There's a lineup, in and out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how they make money, right? So like
volume.
They do make by volume. So if you wanna chat in with friend, then maybe you shouldn't go ramen.
Yeah, go to
then go
kisaten.
Kisaten or family rest or anywhere else.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as well as because the locations are small, not much seating.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take up a seat, order something.
Yeah.
Just because I'm going with Ryusuke, I'm not so hungry. I'll join him to the ramen place. I'm just gonna sit. I'll have a glass of water or something.
No,
that's unheard of in Japan.
No. Yeah.
Right?
If I go with you in Japan and then you say that to me before we go ramen, then I'm gonna say, okay, then maybe let's go somewhere else.
I'll wait outside.
Oh yeah, you wait outside. I eat quick, 5 minutes.
And because ramen best served hot, fresh. Generally, places don't do takeout.
No.
Right?
With this COVID situation may be different, but generally, no. And then, even for you want a fresh ramen, right? Yeah.
You don't want the noodles to soak up all the broth and get all mushy and stuff.
No. Yeah.
Anything else to add?
Well, so as you guys know, ramen is very popular in Japan. I mean, in the world. And obviously, ramen for Japanese is can I say soul food? Yeah,
for sure. Comfort food.
It's very comfort food for all Japanese people. Why? Again, it's cheap It's quick. It's warm, and you can't really cook at home, right? Like no one is making 18 hours chicken stock or pork stock, and then it takes so much time.
Yes.
So to me, ramen is really, really important for Japanese people and Japanese culture. Without that, I don't think Japanese food industry might bigger than this even, I can say. And
I mean, we can even do a podcast just on instant ramen.
Yeah,
right?
we should do that next
That's
one.
how prevalent ramen is. It's
and that's
instant
why
ramen became its own food. Right?
And Nissin, they invent the instant noodles, right?
Yes,
Like dry instant noodles. We should have this episode later. But and
the Koreans kind of took over the game now, though.
that's true. Yeah, and it's good too. I love Shin Ramen.
Talking about etiquette again and honoring and respecting the chef, how would they feel if I just ate the noodles and then I left all the broth? I drink all the broth.
Yeah, try,
right?
Again, like
you can leave a bit.
You can leave the bit. Also, for small eaters, maybe you can finish all the soup, but still, soup is the main. I always finish everything.
Yeah. They probably rather you drink the soup than eat the noodles.
Maybe,
right?
Maybe. Yeah.
I ordered the noodle from the factory. I don't give a fuck. But drink the soup.
Yeah.
I took care to wash the bones. I took care to layer all the flavors, develop all the umami, strain it, clarify it. Yeah.
And that's why how many Michelin stars they took, right? Like Japan, only ramen industry. I think there's a bunch of Michelin star ramen restaurant in Japan.
Definitely is. Yeah.
So the ramen by itself is that much important for the food industry.
Yes.
In the world.
I would say a lot of the chains you see worldwide that are from Japan are ramen chains. Right.
Yeah.
It's one of the few Japanese businesses that has traveled well.
Yeah. I went to LA a couple years ago. There's a spot, same ramen restaurant and the same block, 3 different. They all line up. Crazy. Yeah.
Everyone loves ramen.
Everyone loves ramen. Yeah.
No matter what culture you're from, you like ramen.
Yep. And again, if you're vegan, in North America, there's a bunch of vegan ramen too now. So,
but in Japan, double
check.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm hungry now. Ramen.
I think vegetarian and veganism isn't so popular in Asia.
No.
If it is, it's because of the Buddhism and maybe certain times of the year.
Yeah, exactly. For the monk.
Yes, exactly. Or even worshippers, but it's not like a lifestyle over there.
Yeah, no.
I think that does it for ramen.
Yeah. Again, like we can go deeper for another episode, and then I really want to do the instant ramen episode as well. And so if you guys want to know more, just shoot us message or anything, let us know. Then we can talk about that topic.
We should do our instant ramen taste test.
Sure.
And you can hear us slurp.
That's good. Maybe we should do that. Yeah.
No one's going to want to listen to that. It sounds gross.
Who knows? Maybe you guys get hungry and then...
ASMR. ASMR slurping.
Exactly.
Don't steal that idea. Okay, so that brings us to our street level Japanese segment.
Street Japanese.
Again, street level Japanese is Japanese that we want to share with you that is more informal slang, things that you might not be able to find in a textbook or a formal language learning setting. More everyday Japanese.
Yeah.
So today's is different ways to say hello. The most popular, common, I think worldwide, everyone knows konnichiwa.
Yeah. Hello.
But in Japan, I rarely heard anyone say that to me.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Konnichiwa. If I use konnichiwa, that means like I know this person little bit. So
they're
it's no long time no see. It's no my friend. Then I say konnichiwa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna quickly go through different common informal ways to say hello. The first one is only used over the phone when you pick up the phone.
Yeah.
And that's
Moshi moshi.
moshi moshi.
Moshi moshi.
Moshi moshi.
Yeah.
I hear sometimes people say moshi mosh.
Yeah. Moshi moshi.
Moshi mosh.
Moshi moshi is more like when I pick the phone and then I can't hear you. Moshi moshi. Moshi
Really?
moshi. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't say like I can't hear you. You
Okay.
keep saying moshi moshi.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The next one
Yeah.
means good morning,
Mm-hmm.
but it's used all throughout the day to say hello, and that is
Ohayo.
ohayo,
Like we say every time.
right?
Yeah.
We're not necessarily recording in the morning,
No.
but we're saying hello to you.
Yeah.
But really, it means good morning.
Yeah.
It's a common way to say hello to your coworkers when you arrive at work.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even if you work in an industry which is you start at nighttime or the late afternoon. Like for us, we work in the kitchen.
Yeah.
We say ohayo,
Ohayo. Yeah.
even though it's 4 p.m.
Exactly. Like we work together at the restaurant, and sometimes I work earlier than John. Then John came like 2 p.m. and then he said Ohayo to me.
Ohayo,
Yeah.
exactly.
Ohayo.
Another one, I think it's mostly amongst young people. They say
Yahoo.
yaho,
Yahoo.
yaho.
Yeah.
Another one, very quick, one that is used amongst really close friends,
Really close friend or
super informal.
it's super informal, but yeah, it's close friend.
And that is
With
with,
with
with.
yeah.
Is that
most-
short for anything?
No.
No, it's just a sound.
Yeah.
With.
With yeah.
How about us?
Us is more yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
With also yes.
Yeah.
But also I use a lot with.
So with and us,
Yeah.
both hello and both yes. Another one, asking how are you is also a way to say hello, and that is
Genki.
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 Genki, asking kind of like a question.
Yeah.
Genki.
Yeah.
Another one is to just call someone by their name.
Yeah. Hi, John.
Ryu.
Yeah. John.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah. But like that's kind of common here too.
Yeah. That's common.
Yeah.
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 And one more to bring to you is
Hisashiburi.
sashiburi.
Yeah.
Means long time no see.
Long time no
It's
see.
been a long time.
Yeah. Like when I go back to Japan this time, because I haven't go back for over 5 years, definitely I'm gonna use this word a lot.
Yes. Yes.
And
yes.
I'm gonna hear this word a lot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Everybody gonna say, oh, hisashiburi to me. And I'm gonna say to them.
Okay. So let's quickly run down the different ways to say hello informally in Japan.
Sure.
We have
Moshi moshi.
moshi mosh,
Ohayo.
ohayo. The long way is ohayo gozaimasu.
Ohayo gozaimasu. Yeah.
That's like the polite way.
Right way. Yeah.
Ohayo,
Ohayo. Yahoo.
yaho,
With
with
Genki.
genki,
And John.
ryu,
Hisashiburi.
sashiburi.
Yeah. That's
That's
it. So I guess, well, Ohio you guys know already. So hopefully you guys can start using it. It's really nice. Ohio.
Ohayo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ohio means like so many meaning to me. How are you? Hi. And good morning. But because when you start working, it's kind of like you just start the day. So
Yes.
that's why I think it's Ohio too. It's
Yeah.
like a morning feeling.
Okay.
Yeah. Ohio.
So I hope you enjoyed today's segment of
Yep.
Street Level Japanese. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
We really
ありがとう。
appreciate all the support so
Yep.
far.
Yeah. All the support.
Please subscribe, follow, like, rate us on all the platforms where you find your podcasts. Also, we have started to upload all the podcasts on YouTube. So if you don't have a subscription to Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, you can find them on So Japanese Podcasts on YouTube.
On YouTube. Yeah.
And you don't have to subscribe to anything. So thanks again for listening.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. またね。